Karen Donovan with the Donovan team, bringing you another episode of Keeping in Tune with the Market, designed to bring relevant real estate information to buyers, sellers, and realtors to help you keep in tune with the market. Hi, this is Karen Donovan with another episode of Keeping in Tune with the Market. Today we're going to be talking about property taxes and how do they affect the value when you're selling or buying a home. Today's question comes from Gary Law, and he asks, how do property taxes affect the value of a home when I'm selling or buying? Great question, Gary. Thanks for asking it. And we had a situation occur just like this in our office recently. We had two homes. I'm going to call them house number 1 and house number 2. House number 1 had 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a garage, and a beautiful backyard. House number 2 had 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a beautiful yard, and a garage, and it was located in the town next to house number 1. What was the difference in the two houses? House number 1 had property taxes that were approximately 25% lower than house number 2. The outcome of the sale for the two properties was house number 1 sold in less than a week with several offers. House number 2 languished on the market a long time and had to reduce their price to compensate for the fact that they had high property taxes. Why did this happen? How did this happen? And what can be done to solve this problem? Well, let's take a look at the two situations. House number 1, first of all, had a low millage rate. What does that mean? That means that the town or the municipality where the house was located had a lower tax rate per $1,000 of value as compared to house number 2. Now, how does that happen? Well, first of all, sometimes the town has industry in the town that would lower the tax rate, and sometimes the school taxes in one district are higher or lower than another. The owner made sure in house number 1 that she recorded all of the improvements and monitored those with her municipality so that they weren't charging her for improvements that she didn't have, and they did give her credit for improvements that she did have. Another thing that the owner of house number 1 did was she made sure that every year she compared sales prices and property taxes of her neighbors' homes to hers, which would mean that if there was a home or two in her neighborhood where the taxes were substantially lower than hers, she could then contact her municipality and actually ask them to readjust her taxes to reflect the fact that her neighbors were a bit lower. And the last thing that the smart homeowner in house number 1 did to take advantage of getting lower property taxes was every year she made sure that she was registered for either what they would call a homestead exemption or a star exemption, which means that because she lived in the home as her primary residence, that the municipality would reduce her taxes by a certain amount because of the fact that that was her primary residence. Now let's talk about house number 2. That home was located in a town next to house number 1. The property taxes were a little bit higher. And this was because they did not have as much industry in the area, as well as the fact that the millage rate was a bit higher because of the school taxes. There's absolutely nothing that homeowner could have done about that particular problem. The second factor is house number 2, the owner did not monitor her improvements, and she actually found out that she was being assessed for a fireplace when she didn't even have one. So it's very important that homeowners check with their municipality and make sure that all their improvements are recorded and that anything that's not there is not recorded as an improvement that they'd be taxed on. And last but not least, homeowner 2 never applied for a homestead exemption or a star exemption, even though she was eligible for one. The bottom line is taxes can make a huge difference in how much your property is going to sell for and how long it'll take. We thank you, Gary Law, for your question, and because you asked it and we answered it here on our video, you win a $25 gift certificate to Panera's. If you have a question that you'd like us to cover in our next episode of Keeping in Tune with the Market, please send it to me at Karen@homesbydonovan.com or give me a call at our toll-free number 1-800-822-1222, and we'll be glad to answer your question on our next video. In addition, if you have any questions about your property taxes or you'd like to get a market snapshot on the value of a home that you're thinking about buying or selling, give us a call. We'll be glad to help. Well, until next time, remember, keep in tune with the market and make it a great day.